Good morning and welcome to P&B Morning Show, where we break down the issues shaping our politics and our pockets. Let's begin with the big political questions of the moment. After the Court of Appeal judgment, is the People's Democratic Party truly on its way out? Or is this just another storm in a long political battle? The People's Democratic Party has been Nigeria's main opposition force for decades. But internal divisions, leadership struggles, and now legal battles are raising serious questions about its survival. If the party continues on this path of factional disputes and courtroom politics, Nigerians may soon ask whether the PDP can still function as a credible opposition to the ruling All Progressives Congress, or whether it risks fading into political irrelevance. Now let's turn the global crisis with local consequences. The ongoing tensions in the Middle East, particularly involving Israel, Iran, and the United States, are shaking the global oil market. For Nigeria, this presents a complicated picture. Higher crude oil prices could mean more revenue for the government, an oil windfall that boosts national earnings. But at the same time, Nigeria still imports refined fuel, meaning rising global prices could translate into higher petrol costs, inflation, and more pressure on ordinary Nigerians. So the question becomes, will this war enrich Nigeria's treasury or deepen the hardship at the fuel pump? These are the conversations shaping our politics and our economy this morning. And we will be unpacking them right here on P&B Morning Show. I am Omike Joseph Matthew. Of course, my colleague Chidi Kenneth will be reporting from the filling stations, from the streets of Abuja this morning to, of course, gauge the minds of Nigerians over the current economic situation. So all you need to do is to stay tuned as we'll take you to the street of Abuja to hear Nigerians tell us what they think about the current situation. The pump price now official 1,300, at least in Abuja and some parts of the country. What is really going on? So we'll be having an economist who will be joining us this morning also, who of course will be telling us what these global consequences of the war in the Middle East really mean for Nigeria and Nigeria's economy. So wherever you are, it's nice having you on the show. This is the P&B Morning Show on Politics and Business Television, Abuja. Let's go for a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the P&B Morning Show right here on Politics and Television, on Politics and Business Television, I beg your pardon, Abuja. Of course, it is time now for the newspaper review. We'll check out what the papers have for us this morning. We'll begin with the Daily Trust. The Daily Trust with the headline, 2027. Why PDP may not be on the ballots. 2027. Why PDP may not be on the ballot. I think this headline is coming on the backdrop of the judgment from the appeals court yesterday, where, of course, the wicked-led, the wicked-led faction may have been victorious over the judgment yesterday of the appeal court, and we understand that the Tanimu Turaki faction are heading to the Supreme Court. So we'll be looking at this this morning also. in the course of the program. So, 2027, why PDP may not be on the ballot. That is coming from, of course, the Daily Trust this morning. How military lost 3 commanding officers in 1 week. How military lost 3 commanding officers in 1 week. What a juicy story there. It's really difficult for many Nigerians to read this story, how the country will lose, 3 commanding officers in 7 days. So if you want to know how, of course, you got to check out this story on the Daily Trust this morning. Middle East crisis, what oil windfall means for Nigeria. Middle East crisis, what oil windfall means for Nigeria. Zamfara governor defects to APC. Zamfara governor defects to APC. That's another, headline there coming from the political world. Yes, coming from the political world this morning. So we'll check out another headline there that might be of interest. How we escape a school building collapse. Students, yes, you can see the picture there. The picture of the collapsed building yesterday in Lagos. And according to the story, the moment the students evacuated that building, then it collapsed. So at least this morning, we are not talking about death toll in collapsed building in Lagos and so on. So we thank God for that. So students are, of course, narrating their near-death ordeal, how we escaped school building collapse. Students. So these are some of the stories in the Daily Trust this morning that may require your attention. So you need to go to the newsstand and, of course, pick any of the, pick the Daily Trust to read any of these stories this morning. All right, let's dive into our next paper this morning. Which one do we have next? Let's find out. The blueprint is what we have next. PDP in disarray. Appeal court nullifies Ibadan convention. Zamfara governor quits. PDP in disarray. Appeal court nullifies Ibadan convention. Zamfara governor quits. All right. That's the headline there coming from the blueprints. Of course, it's all about politics. And then you can see the picture of the Federal Secretariat Abuja there yesterday, the section that got burnt yesterday morning. And of course, you check out the story of how the fire was put up yesterday by the fire service. The Dangote assures steady fuel supply. Marketers panic over price spike. Dangote assures steady fuel supply. Marketers panic over price spike. Disruption in Middle East, cause of negative impact, according to experts. That's the writer there for that story. So check out that story on the blueprints this morning. NIPR names Blueprints official media partner of World Public Relations Forum. Okay. NIPR names Blueprint official media partner of World Public Relations Forum. That's a good one there for the management of Blueprint. Federal government approves 50,000 additional slots for 2026 NYC mobilization. Federal government approves 50,000 additional slots for 2026 NYC mobilization. So you see the influx of YouthCorps members in the coming month. And so don't be surprised if you see many of these YouthCorps members in your place, in your organizations in the coming month. Right. And of course, a sad one there, sad headline there coming from the world of sports. First Super Eagles indigenous coach Onigbinde dies at 88. First Super Eagles indigenous coach Onigbinde dies at 88. That's a sad one there. He took Nigeria to the Korea-Japan 2002 World Cup, and he was in charge of the Super Eagles of Nigeria then. And he was the first indigenous Super Eagles coach. Sadly, he has passed on at the age of 88. So for that story, check out the blueprint. All right. NATO Africa condemns detention of 42 Nigerians in Mozambique. NATO Africa condemns detention of 42 Nigerians in Mozambique. You can check that out on page 4 of the Blueprint newspaper this morning. All right, if you are watching us live on YouTube, do well to subscribe to the channel. Please, let's grow this channel together as we bring you interesting programs right here. And also like the page. Yes, like, did I say the page? Like the channel. Okay. Yes, we are also on Facebook and P&B television, P&B TV_English on Facebook. You can get us there. So, of course, on Instagram, it's at P&B TV_English. And on X is P&B_English also. So on YouTube is at Politics&BusinessTV.English. At Politics&BusinessTV.English. So you can get us. Please subscribe. Let's grow this channel together. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell so that each time we are on air live, bringing you the latest program you deserve, you will get notified immediately. So let's continue with the newspaper review. And of course, up next is The Guardian. Oil rally retreats as Nigerians await pump price review. Oil rally retreats as Nigerians await pump price review. All right, that's a really sad one there because the issue of the oil prices will definitely affect the pockets of Nigerians and the inflation rates in the country. So let's quickly check out some more headlines in The Guardian. Insecurity, vehicle thefts upset tin can users despite U.S. commendation. Insecurity, vehicle thefts upset tin can users despite U.S. commendation. Troops confirm repel Boko Haram ISWAP attacks in Borno, Yobe. Troops confirm repel Boko Haram ISWAP attacks in Borno State. Yes, in the past 1 week, Boko Haram and of course the affiliates ISWAP have been on the surge, talking about their nefarious activities in the northeast of Nigeria. And of course, the Nigerian troops have been really, engaged in action in the past few days. Especially in the past 10 days, they've been up and doing in the northeast, repelling, these terrorists up and down, and it has claimed the lives of commanding officers in the past 1 week. So we hope that they will succeed in protecting lives and properties of Nigerians. PDP crisis deepens as Turaki heads to Supreme Court. ADC woos Makinde Mohammed. PDP crisis deepens as Turaki heads to Supreme Court. ADC woos Makinde Mohammed. And that's a story that would definitely interest a lot of people. Petrol hits 1,285, 85 in Abuja and 1,250 in Ibadan. 1,200 in Lagos. That's one of the riders of the headline oil rally retreats as Nigerians await pump price review. So that's The Guardian with that's the story there. Now, Tinubu Obasanjo orders seek stronger African trade at IATF 2027 signing. Tinubu or Obasanjo orders seek stronger African trade at IATF 2027 signing. So check out that story on The Guardian this morning. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to our next paper. Of course, the Delhi Sun is up next. The Delhi Sun is up next. Marketers project 2,000 naira fuel price. Marketers project 2,000 naira fuel price. The rider Dangote hikes petrol diesel price to 1,175 naira for petrol and 1,620 for diesel. That's really pathetic there as far as Nigerians are concerned. Marketers project 2,000 naira fuel price. And you can see the picture of the Federal Secretariat, one of the sections that engulfed in fire yesterday on the Delhi Sun. And you can see smoke billowing out of the building there. Okay. Organ harvesting clinic. Yes, your allegations against me fabricated. PPRO tells Showore. Okay. Organs harvesting link. I beg your pardon. Organs harvesting link. Your allegations against me fabricated. PPRO tells Showore. Okay. So check out that story. What the story is really talking about there. Soludo tours schools to reinforce Monday resumption activities. Soludo tours schools to reinforce Monday resumption activities. So check out that story there coming from Anambra State. Yes. Southwest's APC will give Tinubu 10 million votes in 2027. Southwest's APC will give Tinubu 10 million votes in 2027. Senate leader promising there. Southwest APC will give Tinubu 10 million votes in 2027. Senate leader Kwemi is talking there. All right. Those are some of the juicy stories in the Delhi Sun. But let's quickly check out this one. PDP Turaki led NWC heads for Supreme Court. Okay. PDP Turaki led NWC heads for Supreme Court. It's all good. So let's move on. Let's move on with, of course, the newspaper review. Up next is the Punch newspaper of the year. Businesses brace for inflation surge as petrol hits 1,300 naira per liter. Businesses brace for inflation surge as petrol hits 1,300 naira per liter. All right. IG visits Kwara, vows to flush out bandits. IG visits Kwara, vows to flush out bandits. You can check out that story on page 14, okay, on the Punch newspaper. US warns citizens of fresh terror threats in Nigeria. US warns citizens of fresh terror threats in Nigeria. Discos pockets 2.3 trillion naira despite erratic power supply. Discos pockets 2.3 trillion naira despite erratic power supply. That's coming from the energy sector there. 2022 World Cup coach Onigbinde dies at 88. 2022 World Cup coach Onigbinde dies at 88. That's a sad one there, coming from the world of sports as far as Nigeria is concerned. Ayedatiwa loses bid to amend re-election eligibility suit. Ayedatiwa loses bid to amend eligibility suit. Students injured in stampede as Lagos school building collapses. Students injured in stampede as Lagos school building collapses. Wow. All right. So we will that story Almost all the national papers carried that story, and the good news is that no death was recorded. All right. Rivers Assembly defends rejection of Fubara's 4 nominees. Rivers Assembly defends rejection of Fubara's 4 nominees. Okay. Talking about the commissioner nominees there, and they have cleared orders, but 4 rejected, and the assembly is defending why they have done so. For if you're interested in that story, you need to check that one out on the Punch newspaper. Funding gaps behind February salaries delay. Accountant General. Funding gaps behind February salaries delay. Accountant General. Okay, so many juicy stories on the Punch newspaper this morning. And the last but not least, of course, is the issue of PDP. PDP crisis, Makinde block heads for Supreme Court after appeal court loss. Makinde block heads for Supreme Court after appeal court loss. All right. So check out all the stories on the Punch newspaper this morning. So which one do we really have next? Is the sports, which of course will be the last for us this morning, and it's coming courtesy of Sport Extra, published by the Punch newspaper. Osimhen, Lookman battle Liverpool, Tottenham in UEFA Champions League round of 16. Osimhen, Lookman battle Liverpool, Tottenham in UEFA Champions League round of 16. Yes, the UEFA Champions League round of 16 returns today, and Galatasaray will be tackling Liverpool, and Atletico Madrid will be tackling Tottenham. And so Osimhen plays for Galatasaray and Lookman plays for Atletico Madrid. So both will be in action for their respective clubs tonight. And you can see the headline there. Club may return for second Liverpool spell. Club may return for second Liverpool spell. There are speculations there whether or not the former Liverpool manager will return back to the club, as what is happening in the club is not satisfactory to the fans as far as they are concerned. Morocco club rumors, fake rumors. Okay, that's talking about Chills. Eric Chill. Morocco club rumor fake, according to the NFF, whether or not a club in Morocco will be asking for the services of Eric Chill. We have another one here, Adams. Unhappy with scoring record. Adams unhappy with scoring records. Right. And of course, story from the tennis world. Aruna faces world number 6 at WTTA Chongqing. Yes, Chongqing. Okay. So he'll be facing world number 6 Chongqing at the WTT. Okay, that's talking about the World Table Tennis Championship there. And talking about the Tigress this morning, World Cup qualifiers. The Tigress begin training in France. The Tigress begin training in France. Salim Fago, doubtful for Eagles match friendlies. Salim Fago, doubtful for Eagles match friendlies. And of course, another story there that might interest you in the Sports Extra is Joshua Topp's earnings at £172,000 per punch. Wow. Joshua Topp's earnings at £172,000 per punch. So all these juicy stories on, of course, the Punch Sports Extra this morning. So that happens to be, of course, our last review this morning on the newspaper review. Let's go for a quick break. When we return, we will try and link up with our very first guest this morning, who, of course, we're looking at the economy. And we'll talk about the economy this morning. We're talking about the fuel price hike and how it affects the ordinary Nigerians on the streets. We'll be right back. All right, so welcome back from that break there. This is the PMB morning show right here on Politics and Business Television. I still remain Omike Joseph Matthew. Now, our focus is the growing conflicts in the Middle East and what it could mean for Nigeria's economy. With tensions rising between Israel and Iran and the involvement of the United States, global oil prices are already reacting. For an oil producing nation like Nigeria, this situation presents a mixed reality. On one hand, higher crude oil prices could mean increased revenue for the government. On the other hand, Nigeria still depends heavily on imported refined fuel, even though we still have Dangote refinery doing their best, meaning the same crisis could trigger higher petrol prices, inflation, and more pressure on the citizens. So the big question this morning is, will the Middle East war bring Nigeria an oil windfall or push the country deeper into fuel crisis? And I'm happy to announce this time that we have a renowned economist, a person of Yushua Aliyu, joining us this morning to look at this very important topic: oil windfall or fuel crisis. Good morning to you, Yushua Aliyu.
Yeah, good morning, Oja Matthew.
It's nice having you on the show, P&B Morning Show, this morning. On a day Nigerians woke up with the pump price of fuel at 1,300 naira, at least in Abuja for now, and some are even speculating that it might even get worse. So let me begin by asking you, what is your take on the current situation that we find ourselves as citizens of Nigerians?
The current situation is just trying to teach us a lesson that conflict from any part of the world can have a significant impact in our lives, talk less of having a conflict around us. It's a lesson to understand that even those who are proponents of supporting evil, particularly wars, will have to learn a big lesson that what happens in the war economy affects every individual consumer around the globe. That is one. Second, now the consequences of this war will not just end in what we are paying as prices. It will also affect our social behavior in relation to civilization. Because under a civilized war, it is expected that under United Nations concept that all nations have to be treated equally. The same thing applies that every consumer in every part of the world also has to be respected, because there is what is called the right of consumption, and there is also what is called the right of consumer. And that is why all the economies of the world have a certain measures to look into what consumer is consuming and how that consumer can be protected. In Nigeria, before now, we have Consumer Protection Council, which is now a consumer competitive commission, which also have a specified role in what we pay in consuming goods, what we do with the consumption, and how we consume.
All right. Now, with tension escalating between Israel and Iran, vis-a-vis even the United States of America, how vulnerable is Nigeria's economy to disruption in global oil supply?
We are vulnerable because we rely solely in the import of refined products before now, and also we depend on exporting crude oil to the international market. So it's a dual-edged sword. Now, Nigeria is tend to benefit because if you check the budget proposal of 2026 is around $64 to a barrel. But now, as at yesterday, it was around above $100. And today, because of certain public statement by Donald Trump, the price is reducing. So we tend to pay higher prices and we refine products. And at the same time also, the economy tend to benefit from the distortion in the world supply of crude oil, which triggered the increase in the price, which also significantly is going to reflect in the revenue that is inflow to the federal government and the state and the local governments.
Okay, now if I may ask you, should Nigeria as a country, smile that okay, at least we are getting that windfall from this crisis happening in the Middle East? Should we smile? Because why should we not smile?
The reason why we should not smile, because whatever gains that we are making in terms of good sales, it will not manifest immediately. But the distortions in the supply of refined product hit us instantly, and we are paying higher. If you take the range at which Nigerians are paying for the increase of pump price from 840 naira to above 1,000, if you quantify the volume of consumption daily and you quantify the monetary terms of that one, it supersedes the gains that we are making.
Okay, so for,
that's what we should be smiling.
Okay, so for that reason we should not smile. But now that okay, so now that from the comments of Donald Trump, it appears that and again the intervention of the G7, it appears that the oil price that went to over $100 in the last let's say 60 hours ago is trying to stabilize at 109 or 90 something dollars now. Is it right for Dangote, who of course has been like the messiah of Nigeria's oil sector so far, to be raising the gantry price of petrol now and then? Is it right?
You see, no. You see what with the selection we have to learn here. Dangote is a perfect monopoly under perfectly monopolistic market, and he has to behave this way for him to translate his relationship with NNPCL.
It's affecting still one.
Who's supposed to be supplying Dangote with the required metric tons required for his refinery. That is the barrel requirement for his crude oil barrels requirement for his refinery, which the NNPCL is not responding at a good time. So if NNPCL is not responding, so the only way Dangote can now speak to the world is by showing that its supplies is in relation to whole price of that same product that is the primary raw material for its production, which is also obviously is a lesson which our politicians should learn, which our policy makers should also learn. The better we have more advanced, sophisticated refineries functioning in Nigeria, the better. So that the idea of having monopolistic tendencies will be redefined. And if it is redefined, you will see that even if the war is ongoing, even if prices are distorted worldwide, but because we have the capacity of producing local crude oil, then we should also have the capacity to make use of it within our economy, because our economy comes first. Even now that the G7 are responding, it's as a result of they are afraid that if the trends continue for 2-3 months, then definitely there is going to be so much social crisis in the Western world, because they are the ones that rely on supply from the Middle East, supply of crude oil from the Middle East, because the alternative market is no yielding result to them, especially that the Saudi Arabia, who is a strong partner with American firms, is not in a good relationship. And at the same time, also oil producing state in the Maghreb and northeastern Africa, Libya, and Algeria are not also having a good market relationship, because they have redesigned a different market strategy with the Chinese, with the Asian economy.
All right. Also joining me this morning now is an in-house analyst, Ibrahim Shaibu. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Oje.
It's nice, having you on the show this morning. So, can you tell us your experience, coming to the office this morning?
It is a very sad one, of course, because to my surprise, we just stopped to buy fuel, and then all of a sudden it went up to 1,350 naira.
1,350.
1,350 this morning. Just not more than 30 to 45 minutes ago. And this says a lot of things, because when fuel prices increase in Nigeria, we know it affects virtually every aspect of our Nigerian life. And then, just like our in-house economist has stated, there are a lot of gains for Nigeria as a country, or to the Nigerian economy. Because for one thing, Nigeria will enjoy a boost in her revenue, oil revenue, because right now the current price of oil, I think, is between $100 to $120 per barrel for now, and there are indications that this may even go up.
No, this morning it's beginning to come down.
Okay, that is good.
Yes,
that is good. So this way, Nigeria will be able to realize a huge amount of dollars, petrodollar. Not that war is anything good, but at least this will be expected. But then again, there are some Nigerians will face a lot of problems. For example, now there is possibility of an inflation coming in. Yes, because as much as the price of fuel increases, also price of everything goes up. And then there's no money these days coming into the house of the ordinary Nigerian. You can understand that. And then again, it will also affect the forex, the foreign exchange will also go up. And once foreign exchange goes up, the value of the naira in itself will now weaken. So there are a lot of problems that ordinary Nigerian citizens may face as a result of this increase in oil price, global increase oil prices, I think.
All right. Now, usually, back to you. I haven't heard, someone who's just coming from the street and expressing what the situation is this morning. Do you think that this crisis will push Nigeria to accelerate domestic refining, especially with projects like that of the Dangote refinery now operational? So we have, our refineries lying fallow there, since it has not been working, the Warri, the Port Harcourt, the Kaduna, what have you. And you said this should be a lesson for us. So do you think that this will actually make the government to accelerate and I mean to accelerate domestic refining? Yes, I should ask.
You see, once you mention government, you are rightly speaking about NNPCL, which is a private liability company, the arrangement, and for over 25 years it has failed Nigeria. So we are not expecting anything new from the NNPCL because they have spent so much in maintaining the moribund refineries and also becoming an axe to castigate the upcoming refinery. We have seen that. So from that angle, zero. But from the investment angle, other investors, probably bigger investors like BOA, were expecting their refinery to facilitate production soonest. But however, all this development that we are going to witness in the economy is that they are not coming to save Nigerians. It should be clear. We should put it on the table to understand that these investors are not only coming to save Nigerians. They are coming to save their investment. And that is why if we want them to save Nigerians, we must make provisions from the domestic capacity of our crude oil production to make it a reliable partnership with these companies so that they can have what is enough for them to produce and make profit and sustain the business, rather than allowing these investors to come into the market and then began to look at the primary source of their raw materials, that is crude oil, outside our economy. If under public arrangement will qualify Nigeria to produce, for instance, 2 million barrels, then we should make it a policy that out of what we produce, so barrels is required by our local refining capacity, and we must provide it to them. And if we are providing to them, we provide them with certain arrangement. This arrangement can only be achieved when the operators and the NNPCL come into agreement that we are giving you in naira term. There is nothing wrong dealing in naira term so as to control inflation, like rightly brought up by Mr. Ibrahim. If you allow inflation to set in, Nigeria has suffered so much on inflation from 11.5% in 2014, 11.5% to above 34.45% in 2025, which now significantly you can now quantify the amount of resources that has been eroded as purchasing power of individuals to inflationary trend. But however, this situation, like I told you earlier, we're supposed to learn a lesson of having preparing for war economy. We did not make any provision to prepare for war economy. We have seen it coming, and this tension will continue because if today Iran, Israel, and United States decided to go down, tomorrow Israel may now set again and attack Iran. And at the same time also, Iran, after looking at the damages made to its economy, it can now make decision to attack any of the United States base, which also will not guarantee world supply, because the essence of this war by the Americans is just to bring regime change. And why do we need regime change by force when we are practicing democracy in the world? These are some of the things. Iran has made their decision to elect their leaders, to have their rules. Saudi Arabia refused to do any democracy, maintain constitutional monarchy, and nothing is going on. So all this intervention by the Americans in terms of nuclear production, they started it. They campaigned for it. But some nations, Iran in particular, you should be aware that Iran is part of non-aligned movement. That is, they neither belongs to the West, nor to the East. And they are doing their own nuclear production like Pakistan, like North Korea, like Israel, like any other nation. So if the world want to clear nuclear completely as a tension to every economy, then they should come out with a policy of destroying the entire nuclear, because the essence of nuclear is to destroy economies, destroy human life, destroy civilization. So why are some nations packaging nuclear and then at the same time creating wars in the name of doing regime change to prevent nuclear in all the sub-economies?
Yeah, you're right there. Of course, I really understand your your perception concerning what the geopolitics of this war is all about. Now, back to the issue of the Nigerian economy. Do you see the pump price of fuel coming back to the original state after this war, as it were?
Of course, yes. We have seen different behaviors. Even before war economy, when subsidies were removed completely, when Dangote was making supplies directly, indirectly to the economy, we have seen how prices were changing up and down depending on the behavior of OPEC price. But one thing that is clear, if the OPEC wants to make more money and then decide to control world supply, that will now make the price of crude oil high. And anytime when the price of crude oil is high, because nation under OPEC wants to have maximum gain, then definitely that will translate to higher prices in our domestic economy. So, but it should be clear that the cartel in oil industry is not only OPEC, it includes OPEC plus one, and that is OPEC plus Russia. Whereas Russia, in particular, wanted prices to be lower so that they can kill the American oil shale production. The other angle of the market, that is the OPEC market, controls supply so that they can supply based on the requirement of OPEC to maintain certain level of prices. And that is why for over 2 years, the crude oil is going above $65 per barrel, which is very significant to OPEC as a committee. But remember that previously, around immediately before the lockdown in 2020, prices were a little bit lower because the OPEC cartel decided to be pumping to the world so as to achieve certain level of economic efficiency from certain consideration that is based on OPEC plus one agreement, that is Russia and OPEC agreement, and they were selling at 24, 30, which also we did not take advantage of that during that period because we don't have refining capacity, but we end up importing higher produced refined product, which has eliminated a lot of efficiency in our local production.
All right. Now, how did you take the the comment from Donald Trump when he said that the price that everyone should pay, for this war is the current price all over the the economies of the world, that is the price everybody should pay for? Does that actually make any sense to you when you heard that from Donald Trump? He might be talking to Americans, but
you see, Donald Trump, Trump economy is a tariff economy, and tariff economy is higher price economy. So he enjoys higher prices. I don't know why, but one condition, one aspect that I want people to know about this Trump is an instrument to punish civilizations. The US-China tariff war that Trump brought has changed trade scenario to many nations. Now, the coming back of Trump, the Trump tariffs also increases prices of consumption to many civilizations, which is uncalled for. And at the same time now, the world economy, which Trump also has pushed the world. So he is celebrating because he belongs to a cartel that always celebrate punishing civilization, punishing individuals. And that's why I want to use this opportunity to call on fellow Nigerians to desist from understanding the Trump technicalities in advancing solutions to many economies, including Nigeria. Especially that Trump is coming to Nigeria to rescue Christians from persecution. From who? When Boko Haram is rampaging disasters all over. When IPOB, for instance, is destabilizing the entire eastern Nigeria. So we need to be more careful in taking advanced solutions from Trump. For Trump is not a convenient individual that is ready to bring sanity into price stability in the world.
Okay. Now, before we let you go, what would be your advice to the government as we look forward to the solutions of the Middle East crisis? Now, should the price of crude oil or price of oil come down below the $100 or go back to status quo? And you and I know how Nigerian, the ordinary trader on the street behaves. Once something goes up in Nigeria, it doesn't come down anymore, even though things favors them. So, what would be your advice for the government? Should we go back to the status quo, as it were? What should the government do to make sure that these prices that Nigerians are paying right now should not continue?
The only advice is that you cannot price has a soul. You cannot just think you can just psychologically change price. You change price with policy. The only thing in any situation of this nature, I'm advising government that anytime there is geopolitical tension, which is likely to affect global oil prices. We should make adequate arrangement of crude oil supplies to our local refineries. That will solve the problem.
Okay.
Because, yes.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. We're being interrupted by someone. Yes, go ahead, please. Sorry about that technical issue there. We have Kenneth. Hello, Kenneth. Hello, Kenneth. Okay. Sorry about that interruption there. Please continue with your thoughts, please.
I said the only advice to the government is that anytime there is geopolitical tension,
yes,
our local arrangement should concentrate in trying to supply the crude oil locally to our refineries in order to control domestic price crisis, which if not struck, it will have adverse effect to our political stability because people, their income is not changing. And if people's income is not changing, and they are aware that we are the ones producing this crude oil, and at the same time also we are being frustrated locally, it's not healthy at all. And it is not going to work. No more economy. If America decides to use technology, if Israel wanted to use technology, if Iran wants to use technology, they invested in technology. And that's why we have a very technological warfare going on. But in our own context, we have a capacity to produce to our local demand. And there is no reason why geopolitical tension will raise pump price in Nigeria if we are truly owners of our crude oil production. We don't want the increase in revenue. All we want is stabilized prices so that the little income we are having, we can make good use of it so that inflation can leave individual households with their income. And that is the only way we have a stable democracy.
Usually, we must thank you very, very much for your insights this morning on the P&B Morning Show.
Thank you very much.
It's nice having you. And that was Ushua Aliyu there, an in-house economist, a renowned economist, I must also say, joining us this morning. So Ibrahim Shaibu, you heard Ushua Aliyu there breaking down all the issues surrounding
the Middle East conflict.
The Middle East conflict and the way it's affecting us as a country.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I think before your comment, we have our reporter on the line. I think. Hello, Kenneth. Kenneth, are you there? Okay. I think. Can you unmute? Yes, please unmute so that we can hear you and put on your video. Kenneth. Kenneth, if you can hear me, unmute and put on your video so that we can hear you and see you at the same time. Kenneth is our in-house reporter. Okay.
I can hear you now.
All right. Good.
Can you hear me, okay?
I can hear you, but I can't see you. I want to see you. Put on your video.
Good morning, Mr. Ibrahim.
Good morning, Kenneth.
Good morning to you.
Okay, I'm live here at Oshafa filling station, Udu, and you can see.
I can't. Hello, Kenneth. Hello, Kenneth.
Yeah, can you see me now?
I cannot see you. I can only hear you.
We can hear you, but we can't see the video.
So please put on your video so that we can see you and see what is happening there.
Okay. Let me do that.
Oh, please do that. You're still watching P&B Morning Show on Politics and Business Television Abuja. Joining us live now is our correspondent, Chidi Kenneth. He's on the street right now, and you heard him earlier saying that he is in the Shafa filling station in Gudu. That is in Gudu right now, trying to gauge the opinion of Nigerians buying fuel. So why will we wait for Kenneth to sort out himself?
Technical
difficulties there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, please. Hello, Kenneth.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to connect to the video.
Okay, please do that if you can quickly. All right. Why he's trying to sort out his technical difficulties there.
Yes.
So your take generally on usually use insights or the breakdown of all the issues.
I quite agree with almost everything he said, particularly as related to how it will affect Nigerian economy, and then in addition to that, further to that, also the ordinary Nigerian citizen.
Yes.
Obviously, such a crisis will have a very good impact on the Nigerian economy because Nigerian economy largely depends on the exportation of oil, and then the prices of oil depends largely determines actually what we spend in our budget.
Yes.
Our benchmark for the budget in 2026, I think, is about $65. Yeah, $65. Yeah. So, but now, because of this, we are looking for at maybe to $100 moving forward. So these are quite good for Nigeria, the Nigerian economy domestically. But then, like I started to point it out earlier, it will also translate into the kind of suffering Nigerians will be forced to go through, because my major concern here is the inflation. Because
okay, can you see me now?
Okay, sorry for I can see you now, Kenneth. Kenneth, good morning to you once again.
All right, good morning, OJ.
Yes, we
can. All right, I'm live here at the Japa station.
Okay, go ahead with your report.
Kudu. And you can see motorists are coming in numbers to buy fuel. As we speak now, fuel here is 1,330 naira. And I'll be going straight to, some drivers and car owners to interview them, to ask them questions on what their thoughts and what they feel about this current increase. It's interesting to know that as of yesterday morning, the fuel was about 1,100. And now, as we speak, fuel is 1,330. So let me meet this young man here and let me find out. All right, good morning, sir. My name is Ken. I'm from PMB Television. I want to find out, what's your take? Why do you see this increase in fuel?
It's not really something that
you can switch out. Some people are watching, like they're watching you.
It's not really something that really like helping the country, because we need people for different, we need to go to work, and once like you don't have
Kenneth, hello, Kenneth. We cannot see who you are interviewing. We're only seeing you. You can put on the camera.
Okay,
yes.
Sorry. Okay, can you see him now?
Yeah, yes, better now.
Okay, Karen. So what do you think? What do you have to say about this implementing fuel?
It's not a good one at all, because we need this petrol to power the economy, and once that is not done, it's like you are crippling the economy. So it's not a good one.
Do you have any idea what is causing this whole increment every day? Yesterday morning, 1,150. Yesterday evening, 1,330. Do you know what's going on? What?
Oh yeah. Basically, like we know what is going on. Everybody knows what is going on. We are a country that we are blessed with abundant resources, food, oil, and we are not harnessing that, and that's what has been happening for like a very long time. So
the US.
Well, probably they can be like some dynamics there, but this is something that's been happening like for a very long time, and we need to get something right. I know that people watching you know what is going on. So
do you have any advice for government? What do you think the government should do now? Looking at this increment every day now. Today, we don't know whether it's going to jack up. Yesterday, Dangote announced that the increment in price, and today we don't know if we are possibly going to get another increment. Do you see any possible increment today?
Well, I don't believe good leadership. You should know what they are doing.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, you heard it from a car user. Let me also meet one of the bike riders, or what they call the tricycle, the keke rider, so they can also air their views. Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This is where you define like this, you happy?
No.
Eh?
No.
You not happy?
No.
Okay. What is the government going to do? No, No, we are not doing anything. We are not trying to compete. Just drive up. Okay. All right, thank you. Let me also go and interview people outside. It is serious here. As of yesterday, OJ, it's interesting to know that we had lots of queue, vehicles parked trying to buy fuel. But today, it seems to be that the queue has reduced. However, the price is still increasing every day. The price is increasing every day. Okay, let me meet. There's a young man here coming with cherry can. Okay, good morning. Oh. That's where you want by. Make I interview you. I interview you. Come now. If it's Nigerian, look Nigerian, you be sure. Okay, now, look at watch you. The one by fuel now. How you see this price of fuel?
Price of fuel is very high. And it's not even available for you to buy. Only you or you buy.
It's not available.
Not even available. Yesterday we came here to buy fuel with car. We put on. When they say the fuel is finished, you have to go back. You know, the fuel, this morning I went to another situation. I said, no.
No, we are not feeling. We are not feeling your.
All right. Yeah. Hello, Kenneth. Hello, Kenneth. Hello, Kenneth. Kenneth.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
All right. Please sort out yourself with your respondents there, and then get back to us in the course of the program. We'll try and get back to you again.
All right. I will get back to you. Let me.
All right.
To other filling stations and then get back to you.
All right. And that was, our reporter there on the streets, Kenneth Chidi, talking to some motorists there. And so from the one or two that respondent to his questions, you know that they are not really happy.
People are not happy. There's no way people can be happy about this situation. That's what I was trying to say since I came into the studio, because my major fear is about inflation and then economic slowdown. Because as inflation increases, we will get into a situation to a point where maybe companies will start shutting down, because especially companies that operate that strictly based on using fuel and electricity, they may no longer be able to afford this thing. They may have to close down. And once this happens, it will be telling on Nigerian citizens. So it's not actually something that we can be happy about simply because Nigeria is making a huge amount of money on the global scene. And then again, you see, when Nigeria makes this huge amount of money economically, it doesn't translate to improve the life standard of the ordinary Nigerians.
That is, see, what usually analyze, if you heard him correctly there. He said, whatever we are now making as a result of the increase in the global, in the international market
oil
now,
market, yes,
that if you put it, side by side with the increase in the pump price of fuel, you see that there is no gain at all.
There's no gain at all.
There is no, so the issue say, okay, our reserve is going to increase and all that does not even come to play.
And even people like Dangote,
yes,
they may not be refining 100% of the crude in their possession. He would rather sell most of the crude in the international market because that's where the major money is. And then Dangote's refining alone cannot be able to sustain the Nigerian domestic need.
No, I think this situation has shown that Dangote alone cannot meet the domestic need of Nigeria, and one cannot, rely on Dangote, because now whatever action the refinery takes affects us directly within seconds.
Naturally, so.
You understand? So, and like usually, say that Dangote's action is an example of a perfect monopoly.
Of course,
and so
we all know that Dangote is the number one monopolist in Nigeria.
The onus now lies on the government to learn from what has happened.
Exactly.
Okay, now, and that brings the question. Okay, I think maybe I forgot to ask. Usually, maybe we'll try and have him back. That the issue of more players coming to the market. Yes, and we know that there's BUA also trying on the line, and others who wants to build their refineries and all that. But at the moment, the argument is this, and what this person is trying to block, Dangote is trying to block. He has even gone to court for that, trying to, this issue of issuance of license to
monopolize the petroleum sector.
Yes, as an issuance of license to individuals to import fuel to the country, because only him cannot meet the domestic need. But he's insisting that they should come and patronize him. That they should not issue licenses to individuals to import fuel.
Exactly.
So I think this has really taught Nigerians. Hello, please. Hello, where are you right now?
I am at a popular bus stop where we have vehicles conveying Nigerians to different parts of
What's the name of the bus stop? Hello, Kenneth. What's the name of the bus stop? Where are you right? That's what the question we're asking. What's the name of the bus stop?
The popular Gudu bus stop, you can see there.
Okay.
The popular Gudu bus stop leading to Ahmadu Bello Way.
All right, go ahead, please.
All right, I'm one of the drivers here. I need to hear his own thoughts on the situation. All right, good morning, sir. Introduce yourself, please.
Good morning. I'm Biden Samuel Adeka from Nasarawa State.
Nasarawa State.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
We are the one working here from here Gudu to Juba.
Zuba, another part of Abuja, right?
So I'm from part of Abuja.
So what do you think about this poor situation for Nigeria?
What I think about the fuel, that the way they used to increase the fuel, they should try and increase.
And you speak as well as Nigerians go hear you.
And they have to at least increase the workers' salary at least so that they can afford the money to pay for the transport. Because once they increase the fuel price, they have to at least increase also staff money used to decrease so that they can afford the money.
This is where we see now. It affect transport. Transport increase.
Of course, it affects the transport. Why? Because whenever we are carrying 1,000, because they increase the fuel, we have to increase the 20 naira on top.
On top?
Yes.
This one will be say fuel in the morning, 1,150. Later in the afternoon, when they see 1,330, what did they cost?
I don't even know why, because some are saying that it's because of the fight of Iran and America. Because of the increase of the fuel.
So which advice you get for government now for this matter?
The advice I have is that, and I also want to know, why is it that they are fighting somewhere and we here we are facing the consequences?
Okay, they are fighting somewhere and
we here in
that
Nigeria.
The fight is not supposed to concern us.
It's supposed to concern us. Why? Because the fight is not here in Nigeria. In another country, why is it concern us here in Nigeria?
Okay. So you don't say the fight is not supposed to concern the poor matter?
It's supposed to concern the poor matter.
Why? So we get screwed there, eh?
Of course. Moreover, we have the refinery here in Nigeria. So this is not supposed to concern us.
Okay, this is concern us. So now, so everybody, where did they go now? The money they double.
The money have to double. Why? Because if you not double the money, it's too much for us.
Yeah, so hello, Kenneth. Hello, Kenneth. Hello, Kenneth.
Hello.
Please, can I ask your guest there this question? Let me. Hello.
Okay, but they want to ask you a question.
Yeah. Okay, so can you be specific? How much have you added to your transport fare from Gudu to Zuba?
Okay, you have more people coming to react.
Yes, they should.
Yes. Okay. This country now don't that finish. We dey put 330 to 1,330 naira. How much are we going to make as a taxi driver for Abuja? I said they don't agree pay money. From here to Zuba, we don't increase money, you know what?
So how much? Yes, I'm asking how much. How much are you? How much are you loading now? How much are you loading now from?
How much are you making now? How much are you making?
If you load now, our gain is no more than 7,000 naira.
No, what I'm asking is how much are you loading from Gudu to Zuba? Loading. How much are you loading from Gudu? How much are they loading from Gudu to Zuba now?
Now we are taking from here to Zuba 1,800 naira. And passengers are still complaining. Everybody is still running away because we are taking 1,600 naira.
Because it was 1,600 naira.
Yes.
Now it's 1,800 naira.
And we can even find the passenger self, people carry at the rate of that 1,008 myself. Everybody is panicking.
There's some police station don't get square. Why now?
Some police station don't get for say themselves in their affairs say the price is too high. They cannot sell.
So which advice you now get for government now?
Okay, make government do something. Make government do something. Nigeria, we are dying silently. We are dying. We don't know what to do. I beg, not to do something. Not to carry our fair price go back to where it did before.
All right, OJ, you can hear that. He said the Nigerians are dying silently and they should carry the price of the fuel back to where it was before.
All right. Thank you. Okay. If
right.
Hello, Chidi. Hello, Chidi. Hello, Chidi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, that area you are is I'm very familiar with the area you are. Can you go to any of the food vendor around there to ask how much is a plate of food?
Okay, yes, I think I'm working close to a food vendor. Let me also share our thoughts on the increment of fuel. As you can see, there is one there. Let me ask her. Okay, I think I'm with one of them. Madam, good morning.
Answer the price of plate of food.
Yes, answer the plate of food, yes.
Price food now. I didn't tell you money.
They look you, Nigerians, they watch you.
They don't watch me. What did they want to give me?
They increase the food.
What did they want to do?
This one, I bet you.
Don't add money now. Still find money now. Where we go run for go now? See, when I went to go, Nigeria, look where I go.
So, how much?
You never been for that. You go sell your market, but this market is what's this one. Yeah, best price.
The price of right now 55,000. Now I don't want to 50. See why I don't enter 70,000. What do you want to do for Nigeria? I pay no for him. See to the day for grant. I pay though.
You don't see the cost.
What do you call? I don't know what is the cost.
You don't know.
You don't know.
Because some people don't say,
Hello, Kenneth. 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 Hello, Kenneth.
We want to know the price of
the price of plate of food. That's what we want to know. Not don't ask about the fuel. Don't bother about yes. How much the plate of food? Yes.
You never had pay. When we enter market, we see the price now for us.
Okay.
Now you see there for normal price before.
Okay, I see the normal price now.
Before.
How much is the normal price?
So how much is the normal price?
Now,
1-2.
Okay.
For this your mama put now. If you can't go market increase, how much it cost?
Maybe you go be 1.5.
Maybe you go be 1.5. Okay. Okay, now you heard her. She said she was selling well too, but if she goes to the market and comes back, if the food price is likely to increase to 1,500 naira. That's the situation on ground now. And you can see vehicles everywhere.
All right.
This is the popular Kudu Motor Park. And my name is Kenneth Chidi. I'm reporting on behalf of Politics and Business Television. And I'm live here at Kudu Cemetery. Thank you very much, Ochi.
All right, Chidi, you are not live at Gudu Cemetery. You are live at Gudu. Thank you for that report. Thank you for reporting for the Gudu Junction for us.
At the cemetery.
All right, thank you very much for that report.
Yes. So you can see what I'm trying to say, because life is virtually, oil is virtually everything about the Nigerian life. So you can see, she said that they have not yet increased the price of plate of food so far. She's now waiting to go to the market this afternoon, this evening, and then it is from there that she will not be able to determine how much is she going to.
And to be fair to the food vendors, they are considerate.
Of course,
they are considerate.
Of course, now. So you see, the problem is that our leaders do not have the feelings, the concern about the sufferings of Nigerians. Because, see, even after the introduction of this new tax reform laws, up to now, Nigerians are not experiencing any gain, any positive gain. It's not impacting Nigerian positively. So also, this increase in a global oil price will not, Nigeria economy will increase, will improve, but then it will not directly affect the life of the ordinary Nigerian. The same effort government is making in trying to sell
what will increase is the reserve. It's just like your pocket increasing, but it's not affecting you.
It's not affecting you. That is it. So I want to see a situation where the government will now put enough energy enough effort into making sure that as much as they're trying to sell their crude in international market at this higher price, they should also make the same effort, just like you said, to import more refined crude. Because like you said, Dangote alone cannot be able to do that. And then we don't have any other company, any other strong importer that can be able to do this for now. So let the government do it also.
All right. Okay, I think we'll still have Chidi there, but we'll be going for a quick break. When we return, we'll try and reconnect with Chidi. Perhaps he has more report for us from the streets and more analysis on this situation. We'll find ourselves. So we'll be right back. All right, you're welcome back to the P&B Morning Show right here on Politics and Business Television. Now, before we dive into our next topic, it appears we have Chidi Kenneth still joining us. Chidi, you are still with us?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay, so are you?
I'm still there, and I think I want to interview one of the women here. She said she wants to lend her voice also to the situation on ground.
Okay,
let's go. Which you say, you speak in English. I don't speak in English. This point will increase, I be you.
I had Joe, Nigeria, I'm Nigeria, that could repeat it for you. Oh, you want to I want to think of I know you, I go as I know wow, money, I don't want Nigeria or Christy.
Yeah, I'm for a show for.
Oh, to control,
what you go
for Dama or Hadithi. I don't go for one day, go for the whole fight.
Let you go, no, I
That's my name, no.
Let you show I think that. Yeah, now, join increase.
Only increase your
price. What
not increase you?
But when you increase,
I know the increase, I don't know increase in it. I don't know anything, you know, 200 no day. The one for the put up for
wow.
All right, Kenneth. All right, Kenneth. All right.
All right, don't change it. You heard that like you.
No, I didn't hear. Don't worry. Well, thank you very much for your reporting, Kenneth. Thank you for your reporting, Kenneth. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay. God bless you. Thank you.
Have a great day.
All right, and that was Chidi Kenneth there on the streets, and of course, Nigerians lamenting the current situation we have right now, following the increase in pump price of fuel. So let's dive into our next issue on the ground. Of course, it is on the issue of the People's Democratic Party. And the question we're asking this morning is, after the Court of Appeal judgment, is the People's Democratic Party on its way out, or is this just another storm in a long political battle? Now, the People's Democratic Party has been Nigeria's main opposition force for decades. But internal divisions, leadership struggles, and now legal battles are raising serious questions about its survival. If the party continues on this path of factional disputes and courtroom politics, Nigerians may soon ask whether the PDP can still function as a credible opposition to the ruling All Progressives Congress, or whether it risks fading into political irrelevance. So now let's turn. That's the situation with the People's Democratic Party, the PDP. So I still have Ibrahim Yashaibu here with me this morning for us to talk about the crisis rocking the PDP. Only yesterday, the Court of Appeal gave its judgment, and it appears the Wike-led faction are the victors. If you are seeing it from outside, it appears that they are the victor and they are claiming victory. But the Tanimu Turaki-led faction have said they are heading to the Supreme Court. And that brings the question whether the PDP is dead. Because as it is right now, going by the timetable, all internal disputes by any political party must be resolved between April 23 and May 30th. And now the Turaki-led PDP is saying, we are going to the Supreme Court. And you and I know how cases are resolved in Nigeria when it gets to court. So, so whether or not the Supreme Court will resolve the matter between now and May 30th is a big question.
Exactly.
So, with this situation on our hands, is the PDP dead?
First of all, I would like to say that what the INEC did was what the court did was for INEC not to recognize the convention result of the PDP convention that was held in Ibadan, I think around November 2025, thereabout. So the recent this court decision, I don't think, based on that court decision, will outrightly say that the PDP is dead. But the decision will definitely will definitely weaken the strength of the PDP. You see, between now and May 31st, the PDP as a party cannot be able to wriggle out of its crisis, because as it is now, there's not enough time to do that. So what I will advise is that you can only say PDP is dying, not because of the court order, but because of what will happen after. Do you understand? As a party, I expected them to come back and sit down. We discussed this thing a couple of weeks ago, you and I, that I expected them to come and sit down together and then join to think of a way forward to approach the 2027 presidential election. If they don't do this, it is at that point that we'll be able to say, okay, we believe that the PDP is on its way to die, not even dead, because at least it controls some state as governors and has quite a number of people in the two House of Representatives and the House of Senate. And then still they are a power to reckon with. And what is happening within the PDP now, other parties are also, even the APC itself has gone through this internal party crisis at one time or the other, and they will always have ample time for them to be able to work things out among them. So I cannot for now say that the PDP is dead as a political party.
Okay, because why I'm asking is because the PDP, after the judgment yesterday, the Wike-led faction are saying that, look, let's move on. Come, yours, we are sending you the olive branch. Let's settle this issue. Let's come as one family and all that. But the other side felt aggrieved and are now saying we are heading to the Supreme Court. So they are not, they are waving the olive branch from Wike-led faction.
That was their immediate reaction to the court judgment.
Yes.
But then they are politicians. So there are always politics involved. So I see a situation whereby as time goes on between now and the time period that between now and the March, they will definitely have time between now and May. They will definitely have time to now sit down and resolve it. Because if they don't do that, there are so many things that will be at play. For example, now so many of them will now decide to defect to other political parties.
But
traditionally, we know how Nigerian politicians behave. Nigerian politicians always tend to behave lean towards where power is. And right now, power is in the hands of the APC.
Yes.
So you understand. So if they don't resolve, if they cannot be able to resolve their differences and come together to work together, I see a situation whereby many of their actors will now defect to the African, to the APC.
To the APC.
Yes.
Okay, now I still want to bring up that the narrative of whether or not they can reconcile, because now what if as the Turaki-led faction has instructed their lawyers to appeal the judgment yesterday. So once they get to the Supreme Court, then it's over. They have to wait for the judgment of the Supreme Court.
Yes.
That is Supreme Court to make its
that will mean between now and the presidential election, they will not have a structure in place. They may not even have a presidential candidate to represent for.
Yes, yes. Technically, that is what it means, because the court will need to settle.
Exactly.
Yes, the Supreme Court will need to make a pronouncement to end the whole thing. But so, you see, the Wiki-led faction will be having their next meeting today. Even though the Turaki-led faction are not ready to accept the olive branch they are sending to them. You understand? They want to hold their next meeting today and possibly hold their convention. And now, for somebody who is a PDP supporter today, or trying to contest under that party, you might be afraid.
Exactly.
You understand? You might be afraid. For instance, let's take Oshun as an instance now. Whoever that is a PDP flag bearer there in Oshun now will not be too comfortable with what is going on.
Exactly.
You understand?
Okay,
a judgment was made yesterday. Maybe the person is waiting that, okay, maybe after the judgment there will be peace. By this morning they'll be talking about peace, reconciliation, and what have you. And that is not the case. Only for the person now to wake up this morning and say, okay, this faction say they are going to court to appeal the judgment because they still feel aggrieved that this is not fair and all that. So would such a person in Ekiti be comfortable, comfortable to contest the election under this kind of circumstances? Because at the end of the day now, technicality will not knock you off. Will come into play, because we've had this instances in Zamfara before.
Exactly. You see, I think one of the most important reason of having that party, that meeting that you referred to, is, I think, to devise a way in which whereby the aggrieved persons will not be brought back into the fore. Because after winning a victory, they know that once they are unable to do that, then the party is going to be dead, as you predicted. But we are not looking for a situation whereby the death of the PDP for now is going to make Nigeria as a one-party state. Because I will see now, I still cannot see the vibe, the energy in the ADC for now. Maybe this is their system. Maybe they are planning something underground, but you are not hearing their words. I wish to a couple of months back. Then PDP now, for them to be able to allow this court judgment, this court ruling, to make them weak and now decide not to come together and resolve their differences to confront the forthcoming election, I think it's going to be wrong thinking for me. So I still believe they can rally around themselves, sit down, talk together, and then maybe decide what to do. There's a certain formula that's always, the PDP always applies. I think they will reach to such a situation, and then they will mend fences. I believe so.
Okay, BBC,
I believe so.
I like your optimism for the party. You understand?
Yes.
But there are those who believe that for Wike to feel victorious this morning and still serving in the APC government, it's a big blow to those of them who are in the other side or on the other side, saying that, look, this is somebody who is serving in the current administration.
Exactly.
It's like a mole in the party.
In the party, exactly.
Are you getting it? Like a mole in the party. And don't you think this is the reason why there can't be peace? Because they feel that, okay, you are feeling victorious, you are telling us to come, and you are still serving the government, and you want to, and because as far as the Wike factions are concerned, Wike is the national leader who is serving in an APC government. So when it comes to the presidential election, and Wike has made it public. He's still calling the shot. And he has made it public. He has made it public to the hearing of everyone who cares, that he is in full support of the current president come 2027. And you are, in quotes, the national leader of the PDP. So now, will the PDP field a candidate in 2027 if, for instance, if they reconcile like you are anticipating?
I think the issue
so
now,
how are they going to deal with this?
Yes. The issue now shouldn't be about who controls the party. The issue now is about PDP participating actively in the forthcoming election.
No,
and as long as we're
actively, yes, participating actively in the next election,
yes,
because you are anticipating reconciliation that that may come and all that. Now,
it may not come. If it does not come, then that is a clear pointer to the fact that the PDP is now dead.
Okay.
Yes, but that is why I said in politics anything is possible. Things change at the last minute or almost towards the last minute, so things can be able to.
But how can this change in this scenario? No, let's just look at it from the layman point of view, from outsiders.
Yes.
How can this be? Because if going by this judgment,
I think why you are
yes, going by this judgment, Wike-led faction are the victors. Okay, and he is the national leader. Even though there is this argument from the camp that yes, he's the national leader, but he is not the chairman of the party. I don't know. You are getting their argument now. He's not the chairman of the party, but he is the national leader. And a national leader who is serving
another party
in the same the current government opposition, and has publicly said in 2027. You understand? Is in full support of the current president, the incumbent. So, the question now is, will the party field the presidential candidate? And if you field a presidential candidate, how can the national leader in quotes, or who the national leader in quotes be loyal to?
Is it the party or the government
that is serving?
Yes, this is a very complicated issue actually. But whatever it is, it is either they allow PDP, they allow Wike to keep controlling the party, and then for the party to be used as a tool to promote the current APC government because he still works for the government, or the PDP is definitely on its way to getting evaporated in Nigerian politics.
That is one of these two.
Exactly. It can't be anything other than that. It can't be other thing other than that, because if you look at it, there's no time. We're in February now. We're in February. Very soon we'll be in March, April. Then May is the only time they have.
Yes, May 30th.
May 30th is the only time we have. And you know that political meetings and all that takes a lot of time. Sometimes most of them that are supposed to attend the party may not even be in town, this and that, etc. So actually, I don't see PDP. I'm sorry for the PDP. And then they allowed themselves to be fragmented by somebody initially underestimated. That's all I would say.
Who is to blame? Who should Nigerians or people that are not in support of the APC, the ruling party, blame for the ordeal of the PDP? Because from the way things are going, it appears PDP is dying and may die completely at the end of the day, and it will be in the history book.
Exactly.
You understand that there was once
the party
PDP.
That used to be the greatest political party in Africa.
In Africa,
yes,
it's
gone now.
It's gone. So who are we going to hold responsible?
The PDP stakeholders.
The stakeholders.
For allowing the party to be controlled by Wike alone for a very long period of time. You know, after they lost election in 2015, most of the activists of the PDP have been controlled by Wike. A lot of them have moved into other political parties defected to the ruling APC. And then the PDP became very, very weak. So monies for running the party were left under, I think, Wike, and at the initial point in time, it was former Kaduna State Governor Ahmed Makarfi that was sponsoring meetings, calling for meetings, rallying people around. He refused to let all this defection kill the morale within the PDP members. He was the person responsible for allowing people like Sule Lamido to last long in the PDP. People like former Niger State Governor.
Sule Lamido is still a member.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So at a point in time, Makarfi himself became tired because he will invite gentlemen for a meeting and they will refuse to come. Then he gave up. At the time that he was leaving, Wike was very, very active during that time. He and Makarfi are working hand in hand, pari passu at that time. So when Makarfi later on also became tired, then Wike stepped in. And he continue to be
and
active.
is stepping in is
He
because
uses
it's
money,
ambitious.
his influence, his time.
He's also looking forward to
Exactly. No, maybe looking forward to whatever thing may not have been his main intention at that time.
No, it was because he was looking forward to. He was sponsoring, like you say, he came in looking forward to clinching the ticket for the presidential ticket.
You know, there was even
and then Atiku Abubakar surfaced.
Exactly. At a point in time, PDP could not even pay its rent for Wadata House.
Yes.
It was Wike that was doing all this. Everything. Horse meetings, entertain guests, and everything. Wike was the one.
That was not Atiku.
Exactly. Then people like Atiku were there, they were not doing anything.
He was in Dubai.
Exactly. You can understand that.
Yes.
So I think the PDP caucus were the ones to blame. I see no reason. I think sometimes I feel Wike is just doing the right thing because politics is interest. You understand? Politics is interest.
So but nobody is mentioning.
I'm only against this thing because allowing PDP to just get destroyed is allowing ourselves to run a single party democracy, which is very, very unpleasant. Or maybe an election with very weak opposition. Do you understand?
Was somebody, there are those out there who argue with you that, no, we have an ADC.
There is LP. LP is even strong. And there is ADC, and there are other smaller political parties.
Yes.
But if you put all these things together, they cannot give APC a run for their money.
Maybe we'll wait maybe after the convention, because all of them are actually, like the ADC are waiting for the convention to see who they will support so that they'll know how to come out in full force.
When ADC came up, I was happy. I was seeing a very strong contender in the election, but then all of a sudden it became so quiet. So
I think they are waiting. They are waiting for the convention.
Okay.
Maybe yes. I think they are waiting for the convention. But now, still on who to hold responsible for the ordeal of the APC. Nobody is mentioning Atiku Abubakar.
Yes. You know, I was trying to mention them. I started with the PDP caucus first, and how Wike was able to now dominate the party. Then again, Atiku Abubakar has always been among the founding fathers of the political party right from inception. Right from inception. So I can't understand why all of a sudden, you know, Atiku is somebody that is very, very unpredictable. He jumps from one party to another. From his political career to now, I think he changed party almost 3 or 4 times. You can remember this. Unlike somebody like Bola Tinubu,
that has been steady.
Unlike somebody like Buhari only changes name of the political party, but he remains in one political party.
Yes.
But Atiku Abubakar, for somebody that is aspiring to become president of the country, you should try to lead by example. Do you understand? And then when the party became weak, you decided to just withdraw yourself from its activities, which led into further weakening of the political or the PDP as a political party. So he's also here. He will always take another very great part of why the people to be blamed for the predicament the party is passing through for now.
Yes, because when someone was trying to analyze this situation to me in the past few days, nobody is mentioning Atiku Abubakar. When 2023 now came, prior to the 2023 election, he surfaced. While Wike and McCarthy, like you mentioned, were always in there. So he now came, used his financial muscle and whatever, clinched the tickets that defeated Wike. You know, Wike contested against him in the primaries, or who clinched the ticket of the party. Then won ticket Wike at the end of the day. Now, we all know that Wike now said, okay, you've won me, right? Let me be your running mate. He came publicly. Everybody knew that.
Which will have been okay.
You understand?
Yes.
And then everybody thought that, okay, he's going to take Wike as a running mate and all that.
Even me, that was my expectation.
That was the expectation.
Yes,
and then from nowhere, they now chose Okoa. I think that was the final straw that broke the camel's back, as they put it. That Wike now declared war on PDP. Either individuals or the PDP as a party.
Exactly.
You understand? So he worked against the PDP even in the presidential election and still remain in the same PDP, refuses to leave. And
exactly. Kept working for another party
today. Yes. So you see why many will be putting the blame. I'm not a Wike fan or whatever. You understand? So and Atiku Abubakar that nobody is mentioning, I think, should also share the blame.
Of course, a great part. In fact, the greater part of the blame should be him, because when I talk about the party caucus, he was at the top of the political the party caucus, Atiku Abubakar. And I think whatever problem the PDP is passing through now, I don't see them coming out of it between now. I am looking at the time factor, the time.
So we have just 2 months
just
for
2
the
months,
for the reconciliation, for the whatever they want to. Yes.
I am just hoping they will be able to reconcile, to resolve issues. Do you
and
understand?
even if they reconcile,
even if they do, even if they do,
yes,
it's difficult for Wike. It's difficult for Wike to turn his back against Asiwaju now.
Okay, so that is where the issue is.
So I think if there's any opposition now, we have to face it. No matter how I try now.
I was listening to the publicity secretary of the Wike faction, Muhammad. Muhammad. Is it Farouk Muhammad? You understand? Okay, I actually don't have his full name now, but I know it's Muhammad. Now, his argument is that no, they are going to start from the states to start clinching the governors, and the question was asked, are you now saying that when it comes to the presidential race,
you'll be with
exactly. As in you don't want to will not feature anybody? Yes. There was no clear answer to that.
The picture just came into me that there's no way Wike will turn his back during the presidential election against Asiwaju. There's just no way. So that essentially means the PDP will only fight hard to win their states. You understand?
Yes.
So when it comes up for the presidential election,
they may likely that because of the interest of somebody,
just one person, they will now go the APC way for the presidential election. They may still have their senators,
whatever. We are
governors, but at the presidential level,
because of one interest,
Wike will still make sure that PDP as a whole will vote for Asiwaju, and that is very, very unhealthy still. And that signifies the death of the PDP as a political party. A political party that whose impact can only be felt at the state levels. I think it's not a very strong political party. I see ADC performing even better if, like you say, after the convention will see light at the end of the tunnel, then I see them performing better than PDP in the forthcoming election.
We just have to go. Thank you very much for your time this morning, as always.
Thank you, Mr. Ojo.
And of course, to Chidi, who reported from the street for us, gauging the opinion of Nigeria.
I'm telling you that the price of food will soon become
All right. Thank you very much, Chidi, wherever you are. And of course, to Yushua Aliyu, our in-house economist, who joined us this morning to break down everything concerning the Middle East crisis and vis-a-vis how it affects Nigeria's economy as regards the fuel price hike that we are experiencing now in Nigeria. So we'll be back again same time tomorrow for the P&B Morning Show. Please do join us. I'm Omike Joseph Matthew. Special thanks to, of course, the boys operating behind the scenes. Today we have Josie, who is doing all that behind the scenes, and the rest of the boys. Thank you and see you soon. God bless you.